When someone else talks to you, do you usually understand what they mean? And when you talk to somebody else, do they usually understand what you're saying? Reading and writing are really talking and listening skills. When you're reading, you're really listening to what someone else is saying to you. And when you are the writer, you are talking. So reading and writing skills are really very scary. They're listening and speaking. You rarely get points for reading. You get points for answering questions. You get points for filling in the worksheet. You get points for answering the tests and the quizzes correctly. That's a short-term goal of learning. I'm certainly interested in helping you do that very efficiently. But I'm also interested in giving you the skills that you need to be a lifelong learner. Understanding the skills of reading and writing really give you a jump start on being able to become a lifelong learner. When your formal education has stopped, and it will when you graduate. If you go on to college, you'll graduate at some point there too. But you'll only be in your 20s probably if you go from just high school on to college. And there's a lot of life to live and a lot of things to learn. So being a lifelong learner is really a goal. Let's review some of the ways that reading and writing fit together. We've learned that textbooks separate units, chapters, sections, topics, and subtopics within the text and make them obvious to the reader using different fonts, bolds and italics, and even colors. Your note-taking skills are much easier because you've already seen the groupings that are done paragraph-wise and informationally. Then, the note-taking skill, from the actual text, we learned how to take notes on what we've read. We've learned how to make flashcards from the vocabulary, which expresses the definition in as few terms as possible for the understanding. We don't use sentence structures on this. And then we're going to use the baby flashcards, so we actually can now use these flashcards by matching the baby to the actual flashcard itself to learn the vocabulary. This is how we're going to get our points on those tests and quizzes, by understanding the vocabulary that in the textbook is either bolded or italicized. It's usually obvious to the reader within the text itself. After the notes are taken and the flashcards are made, we can use that information from our notes in order to answer the comprehension questions, which are usually on the worksheets or in a textbook. Normally you will be getting points for that type of homework. Your notes, of course, help you because it's a condensed version of the textbook, what you've read. So those are your study pieces for your tests and quizzes. And you're always refining those notes as you go along. If you come across a question that you have to research in order to answer it, it's not in your notes, you're going to need to fix the notes and then answer the question. You want your notes as complete as possible. But now the notes can actually be used for your communication back when you speak, because there's such a thing called an essay. That's our next step in this note-taking, reading, note-taking, answering, and then communicating back how you've understood the information.